Good morning. Good morning. Let me check my avatar's scribbling and make sure my mic's working. Fuck it, sod's law. Me and me and Ty have gone live at the same time, so I've only got a short time. I've got an hour or so before going out. I thought, fuck it, do a quick live. Um, didn't mean to clash with Ty, but you know. Morning, Rob. Morning, Wayne. Wayne Kurt. Morning, Paul. Oh, I just thought I'd do a quick one. I'm off out in a bit, so I haven't done one for a few days. I don't know, 4 or 5 days or something. And last time it was a bit vibrant and energetic, shall we say? So, yeah, like I said, Ty's live as well this morning. Didn't mean to clash with Tyrone, but he leveled the crybabies over there this morning because he got a bit of grief yesterday. I missed it. I didn't see it, but you know, uh, yeah, I did hear a little bit about it, but I didn't see it. I wasn't there. But yeah, I've been avoiding uh replying to comments, um lives. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing my thing. And because I've been ignoring, they turned on someone else. So transparent. It's oh, I shouldn't be laughing. Shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. It's not funny. I was off early. Paul. I was watching some fishing and stuff on my other account, and I flicked over and happened to I flicked on Flavs because he was probably one of the only ones live early evening. So, and that was bonkers. Zara and Vincent were on there. It was bonkers. I was off early. At 10:30 last night. I was off asleep by about 11. So up plenty early to go out today. Nice morning, Thebus. Going for Carvery. I don't like Toby Carvery, but Mrs. likes it. Got 25% off, and the older grandkids that we're going out with today, they like it. So I'll tolerate it for today. It's absolutely fucking. It is minging horrible here. It's cold. 3 fucking degrees. It's fucking lashing down. So I'm glad we're going to a covered town centre. We're going to the big town. The big town. We're leaving our little hobbit hovel up on the mountain and going to the big town. Morning, Andy. Morning. You never know. I might do some chicken fuckery in Heron Foods or Poundland or somewhere. You never know when I'm going to pull out my camera. So, if the mood takes me, you know, I'll be filming some shit today. I'll film my dinner anyway, just to abuse it because it's Toby Carvery and I don't like it. So, good morning, John and Kendra. Good morning, and big up, Andy. I think I said good morning. Yeah, like I said, I know Tyrone's live. Didn't mean to clash with Ty. There was no one live when I started setting up the thing, so we've both just gone create a couple of minutes live. So no pre thing in. But yeah, lots of shenanigans. I did get questioned by um, the sleuthing intellect that is Gamer the other day on Naturals. So he put me on the grill and flipped me a few times. And he was sober. But then later on the same evening, he was up on. I didn't watch it because I'm not subbed anymore. So he was up on Jamie's causing grief. Apparently, I didn't see it again. Didn't see it again. But yeah. I shouldn't chuckle, but I find it so amusing. I find it amusing just sitting back and watching. Um, yeah, I'm in the transitional video period at the moment. I've been really uploading. Still thinking about what sort of videos to make. So it may go back to the music videos where I clip people's voices. Because you can sample voices, there's no chance of a copyright there. So I might just go back to clipping people's voices and putting it over music, over dance music, and making psychedelic videos. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'll probably be live again this evening at some point. Maybe or this afternoon, depending on what time I get in. I may go before Nutter. You know, Mr. Nutter will have a vibrant, energetic live this evening, shall we say? I'll say that on Nutter's behalf. It's going to be vibrant and energetic. Please do not take offence. Don't blame the host. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Rob. Big up, Rob. Yeah, I'll still do some of them. It's just it's characters, isn't it? It's I can't keep going on the same characters all the time. It's you know, people get bored of it. It's as simple as that. But yeah, there's plenty of content and dramas to rip the shiz out of, and you know, I could do a half-hour video just on the people that have been having a go at me for the past few weeks. So I think that might be in order. So you know, morning, Mark. Morning. Oh no, Paul. I don't like it, but Mrs. likes it. 25% off, and the two grandkids like it. So uh, yep. I wouldn't claim anything that isn't mine, even if I was on another channel and someone clipped me. No, my own. I'm not going to have my own content used against me anymore. Um, I've had that in the past, so and I had a free and open policy where anyone could clip, but not anymore. I'm not going to have my own content used against me, or um, it's been used in the past. It's been clipped funny, it is what it is. A few people have still clipped my live from the other night, but no, I haven't claimed anything on it. YouTube do automatically let me know if my content has been used because I've got the no clip turned on. But you know, the clipping tantrum for a couple of weeks, and then it'll be back to um, anyone can fucking have it. Ooh, why's my camera all on a wide angle lens? You can see my blow heat guitar, guitar wires, guitar pedals, amp, desk. I got a snake of wires. 2 bad snakes I got. I've got to untangle them all and wrap them back up properly. Yeah, I've had a few where YouTube have taken the videos straight down, no warning. And then I had to do the fucking partner program, fucking questionnaire and lessons, and wait 3 months for it to be removed. And that wasn't even a copyright claim. That was just YouTube being cunts. But it was a spunkfish video, so you know. No drama llama. There he is, Nathan. Look, why is my camera mirrored? That's why it's being weird. Settings. And that's probably better. Am I now a no drama llama? No drama llama. I have been awake since about 7 o'clock. That's why I'm in a funny mood, because I just laid there for an hour, busting for a pee, not wanting to get up because it's fucking cold in Wales today. All right, Terry, my lovely. Wooden ladders. I don't know. I forgot any wooden ladders. I've got some bifolding ones, 3 section, 2 section. Depends what you want. Steps. I've got some step ladders. I need some wooden ladders to go window licking. I could do the extra pennies. I think I'll charge £5 a window. I haven't got much spittle going on because I've had my salivary glands taken out on most of them anyway. So, yeah, I could do some wooden ladders for some window licking, make some extra pocket money to supplement my paper round. Yeah, it means I won't have to steal from the newsagents when I go in to collect my papers in the morning. So, yeah, it'd be good. Some wooden ladders would be good. And a sponge and a little bucket and a sponge to wet my tongue with. Favorite flavor window, probably bus stop or pub toilet. Bus stop has got like a piss and biscuits taste, old person taste, and pub toilets smell of people sniffing Charlie in the toilets and piss. Inside licking only for bus stops and pubs. You get the best flavour. So sometimes pub windows taste of cheap salt and vinegar crisps. When I'm licking windows. When I'm licking windows. Windows. When I'm licking windows. Windows. Number 1 hit there. Number 1 hit, I'd say. Morning, John. I've got a number 1 hit on my hands when I'm licking windows. Oh, fucking hell. Guitar fell over. Stay there, guitar. Morning, Matt. Good morning. Oh yeah, I get a right old stale nicotine hit. Mmm. I'm the window licker, and my windows must be licked. Oh dear. Oh dear. Um, it looks like the big town's in for it today. There'll be some chicken fuckering going on in shops. Let's see if I can get chucked out of Subway. When I go in for my coffee. It'll be pretty hard to get chucked out of Subway in town, I've got to be honest. You know, I've never been challenged in the pound shop, running around shouting chicken fuckers and doing like adverts for Lubana. Morning, my side. Good morning. I know people are going to be in and out. This Tyrone's on, and um, that's where it's at the minute. So I didn't mean to clash with Ty. I'm just on a short one. I'm out today, so out for take the kids to spend some pocket money and out for lunch at the horrible Toby Carvery. But I'll keep saying it, and I might convince myself that it's not disgusting. But I don't know what to have yet. I don't know whether to have the Carvery or just pick a fucking burger and chips off the menu. It might be safer, to be honest. Yeah, like the told said, just a quickie for me today, a short one. I'll probably be around later. Come back on later. But I'm just gonna have a little giggle for half hour. You know, probably watch a little bit of Tyrone then before I get dressed to go out. As you can see, I'm in my house coat. I am dressed underneath. I've got a t-shirt on and jumper bottoms, but you know, got to put some joggers on and a jumper, and that's me done. I'm already washed, teeth brushed. Fucking eager beaver in the morning. I am. No fucking about. Straight up. Straight up. First thing I do before even having a brew or anything is get up, teeth, wash. I'm a bit anal like that, and bathing every day and walking at the same time every day. Routine, 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 routine. Morning, John. Oh, John, tell them get back in their box. Get back in your box. Mental elves, get back in your box. You're not wanted. Go away. Yeah, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Bright-eyed. That's a good night. Morning, Reese. That's a good night's sleep for me last night. Off early. I've had no drama for weeks or not been responding to any. Happy chappy. You know, get too involved in this shit and you start melting your own brain. It's as simple as that. Aaron, I know they'll be counting. No, I'm on. I've got first breakfast in hand. I haven't been up long, so Siggy first. Siggy first. Nick, get my nicotine first. First breakfast, and that'll be it. That'll be it then before going out for the day. So, yeah, go to the big town, leaving the mountain and going to the big town. Morning, nugget lovers. Morning, nugget lovers. Oh yeah, that's my philosophy, John. Not responding, not playing the game, not playing their game, should I say? I like to play on my own, and not responding in chats or on panels is one of my ways of playing the game. I'm not going to feed people. I'm not going to feed people's spin. I'm not going to feed it. I'm just not going to feed it. You see someone get pulled up about their drinking on here. The next 2 hours later, they're on a live stream, pissed out their head, screaming their fucking head off about the person that pulled them up about it. I'm not playing that game. Yeah, cheers, Aaron. No, I don't want to be getting told off. Not again. I'm always getting slap on the wrist, when I haven't even done anything. But it's being an ex-ginger. I used to get it in school. When I was a kid, I'd get blamed for everything, but only like 80% of it was me. So, I'm here for a giggle. Obviously, there's going to be some griefs, but I just not responding to it. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I got you, Reese. Just put my thing up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Reese.
How you doing? You all right?
Good morning. Yeah, all right, man. I'm all right.
I've come to give you a bollocking.
Oh, good.
And start some drama.
I haven't had one for a little while.
I don't quite know what you've done wrong, but you're a very fucking bad boy, ministry.
I am.
Very fucking bad boy.
I can't.
You should be ashamed.
What I've done wrong either, Reese, to be honest. And that's the truth.
You should be ashamed, mate.
I know.
I don't know how you can put your face on the internet, and you should be hanging your head.
I know. I should be hood up, covering my eyes.
This is it.
My head like that.
Yeah.
I should be hiding.
I don't understand. You've obviously got no human emotions, because if you can still sit on live stream after what you've done and look people in the eye, it's terrible. I don't know how you've got the audacity.
Exactly. No, me. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
So what are people saying that you've done? Because I have no idea, mate.
Well, I didn't have any grief with anybody, to be honest, and then sort of had time off over the Christmas, New Year, which ended up being like 6 or 7 weeks away from doing live streams, videos, and I came back and it was just bang on me straight away. Just for it all started with an emoji. So on a video,
usually do. It started with an emoji,
and it went from there. Jamie got the arse about the parody accounts, troll accounts, whatever you want to call them, which he's entitled to. But the way he went at me was a bit harsh, and I haven't responded. Oh, I did.
I do understand what he's saying, because there are some people that are in this community who would just, they're not even part of the community. They're just there to drag people down and to fucking and to have a go at people and make them feel worse about themselves. And to be honest with you, Ministry, I'm not about that. If it were on my channel and I'd have seen people like that in my chat, they'd have been deleted. Obviously, it's your channel, so what you do is up to you. But the thing is, it makes it so that it's not a place where it's welcoming for people that just want to have a chat to come, because you've got scumbags like that in chat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It gets a bit, full on sometimes, and I do rein it in occasionally, but I have been guilty of letting it go recently a bit,
Because, I mean, if you're worried about alienating... If you're worried about alienating people by deleting some of these accounts that are just spouting nastiness in chat, mate, you don't need to worry about it, because they're that fucking pathetic. They'll just log on with another account and subscribe again. So that's another fucking subscriber. Do you know what I mean? They'll
yeah.
It's just, I don't know. To be honest with you, mate, I was so fucking. I'm so glad that I've got a job and got away from being around these fucking live streams 24 hours a day. Because when I wasn't working, it becomes fucking almost like an obsession. Do you know what I mean? Or at least it was for me. If I weren't on a live stream, I was wondering who were going to be on live stream next, and if there weren't anybody else on live stream, I was thinking about doing one myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just got to a point where I'm like, well, do I really want to? Is that what am I here for? Am I here for interesting conversation, which is what I came here for originally? Or am I here to listen to people fucking shout and scream at each other and moan about people pissing in bags and fucking God knows what else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the answer is I'm here for a chat. I'm here for conversation. So I've stopped going on a lot of fucking live. I think there's 3 channels that do live streams that I still get fucking notifications for that there's a live stream up. That's yours, Jamie's, and Pork Chops. And
yeah, I've unsubbed from a lot, and I've been doing the same. I've been I'll stick my head in and say hello where I'm a mod, but I've been staying away from all the drama that's been going on because I'll go in chat and someone will have a dig. I don't respond, but it's sometimes
it
it's
just
best
makes it
just to come off, and I've had other things going on as well, so it's
it's the people that don't that I feel sorry for, mate. It's the people that sit on here all the time that don't have anything else going on, that do get sucked in and absorbed by this fucking drama constantly, 24 hours a day. I mean, it's almost to the point where you can literally anytime, day or night, find a channel where there's someone somewhere slagging somebody off.
Yeah. I was giggling at Flavs' yesterday evening because he'd been back and forth all day with UK lady, I think. And it's just, I watched a little last night. Didn't watch during the day when he was on, but it's just, the amount of difference in attitude from a couple of days ago to now is a couple of days ago. They were all friendly, and now it's like World War III started.
Yeah,
absolutely bonkers. I don't know what I've got. No idea.
And you know what, Ministry? There probably is no fucking reason. That's why you've got no idea why. Because there will be no reason. It'll just be something and fucking nothing. Oh, she said this, he said that. It's all bollocks, mate. It's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic. And you know what? It's one of the reasons that, the country's in such a fucking shit state that it is in. Because we'd all rather just fucking bitch and moan at each other about what so-and-so said than actually talking about what the real issues are and getting a plan to get anything done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. I could have milked all this drama by doing daily live streams and letting people on the bitch and doing a bit of bitching myself, but that's just not my cup of tea. People say what they want when they come on mine within reason. People know there's certain things they can't say or whatever, or they'll get fucking booted no matter whether I'm friendly with them or not. That's the way it is.
But that shit in itself has an effect on your mental health, Ministry. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity and fucking people throwing insults about, it's bound to affect your mental health.
Yeah,
it bound to. Does. I can't remember the last time I was on or watching one of these panels where somebody paid somebody else a compliment. When was the last time you heard it?
I couldn't say, to be honest.
But we hear about insults all the time. We hear those insults. We hear those dragging down. We never hear anybody building somebody else up on these channels. Never. Why is that?
No. Or, you know, if I've seen in the past, you know, people take people under their wing and help them along, and then that turns fucking sour as well. You know, it's there's always going to be clashes of personality, but you know, people who've had a dig at me over the last few weeks, rather than responding, I've never had to block anybody. I've blocked a couple of people and unsubbed from quite a few channels, to be honest. Mostly because a lot of them I wasn't really visiting. You know, other channels from the other, like Yogi's mentioned, people bringing in peeps from the fighting side, and I know them guys anyway. But I've unsubbed from a lot of them because I just wasn't watching them because they were on at the same time as people that I'd rather be watching. You know,
Mm.
and that's just cutting off a lot of the drama as well. You know that. No, I wasn't necessarily watching, but no, we all like a giggle at it occasionally, but yeah,
But it's every fucking day, every single live stream, and it's like you can be in the middle of an intelligent conversation, ministry, you know, having a discussion about something that actually matters, and then somebody will pop up on panel, and all of a sudden, that conversation you were having just goes out the window because all this idiot wants to talk about is who they're bitching at this week.
Yeah.
Gypsy Dave paid Mark Kelly a compliment the other day. I'm really pleased at that, mate. But you understand the point I'm making. It very fucking rarely happens. Very fucking rarely. And it's a shit state of affairs, to be honest with you, because we're just dragging each other down instead of we should be building each other up.
Yeah. And like you said, it definitely you know, when you get too involved, it definitely affects mental health. And if you're already susceptible, which I am, you know, it's no secret. It's best just to, in my opinion, in my personal circumstance, it's just best to, for me, just best to ignore. And I think sometimes that is more annoying to the detractors than actually committing to a prolonged row with them over like you said, absolutely nothing. Most rows are over nothing. A comment made.
Yeah.
A comment taken out of context. Disagreement about, you know, something normal could turn into just a slanging match, you know?
I don't mind getting into and you've heard me do this before, ministry. I'll have an heated debate about something, yeah, about an actual subject. And if somebody's on one side of the argument and I'm on the other side of the argument, I don't mind that because we're actually talking about something. And if it gets a bit heated, sometimes these conversations do, then so be it. I don't look for it to get there. Cooler heads should always try and prevail. But sometimes it does. What I can't stand is just this bullshit over nonsense, over nothing.
Yeah.
It's like on Jamie's last night, they had fucking Natural on there, pissed up, and Fischl as well, and they were just fucking, both of them obviously fucking drunk, calling each other pissheads. It's like, well, pot kettle.
Yeah.
No.
Well, like you said, that distracts from any sort of discussion that was going on then, doesn't it? And
well, I got on to actually have a proper discussion. I probably should have watched for a couple of minutes before I jumped on his panel, but you know, as soon as I said, well, I had some guests. When my guests left, I put YouTube on and I seen he were live streaming, so I jumped straight on panel. But I probably should have watched for a couple of minutes beforehand because apparently they'd been at it all evening and they'd had no proper conversation on there because it's very, very difficult when you've got drunk people trying to dominate it with fucking nonsense.
Yeah. I've got to be honest. I watched a little bit of Flavs, and then I was off early. I've been, like I said, making a point of not watching too much of the drama recently. Not because it was sort of the digs at me who get into me in any sort of way, because they haven't. You know, it's water off a duck's back to me. I'm used to it. Obviously, from the career I had, you know, it was.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're
Daily or
used to
by
it, to be honest with
daily,
you.
you know, verbal abuse, and that is water off a duck's back to me.
Yeah.
You know, you learn to sort of brush it off.
Insults don't really bother me, to be fair, apart from the fact that while if someone sat there insulting someone, you're never going to get closer to any understanding. You're never going to get any nearer to being able to have compassion or empathy for the other person's viewpoint. Because when you're calling them names, you're essentially, a lot of the names are dehumanizing. You know what I mean? They're designed to make the person, if they don't feel less as a person, they appear less in other people's eyes. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, spot on.
And how are you supposed to see eye to eye with someone that you're trying to drag down? If you're trying to drag them down to the ground, how are you supposed to be able to be on a level with them? You can't, can you?
Well, you're not if you're that intent on it. That your mind's never going to be changed. You know, your point of view is always going to be the right point of view. If you're that intent at going at somebody, you know, there is no reasoning. There's no reasoning.
Do you know what, Ministry? I'm not trying to brag around. I consider myself I'm kind of smart, but I don't understand the intellectual arrogance that somebody can have to go into a conversation with an fixed, set in stone idea or belief and not being able to listen to other people's arguments to sway that opinion. Do you know what I mean? If everything if everything that's in your head is set in stone, how can you change your mind about anything? Do you ever change your mind about anything? Or is it impossible to admit you're wrong?
I think that's what it is with some people, is they can't admit when they've been in the wrong. Or, yeah, like you said, I'll just take Winkle for an example. He's one that you're never going to change his mind on. If he wants to argue about a subject, you're never going to change his mind. He will argue it until he's blue in the face. Morning, Boggy. Morning, Adrian.
And if I'm Ministry, here's the thing: if I know that I'm right about something, and there is, I'm not. There are certain things that I take as self-evident truths. There's not many things that I take as self-evident truths, but there are some things I take as self-evident, like evolution, for example. In my mind, that's an open and closed case. It's been solved. It's fucking. Do you know what I mean? We've moved on. We know what evolution is, how it works. There's evidence everywhere you look. If you look at the right level, it's all over the place. It's almost. In fact, I believe it is irrefutable at this point. It would take some extraordinary evidence to convince me that evolution wasn't correct. I would literally probably have to see the hand of. I'd have to see the hand of God sculpting Adam out of mud. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's not many beliefs that I have that are that firm. Nearly everything else can be because arguments are nuanced. There's two sides to every argument. You know what I mean?
It sure is, mate.
Hey, Mark. How are you doing? You all right?
Reece, yeah.
I'm great, mate. It's Saturday. I finished my working week yesterday. I've got today and tomorrow off. I've got the house to myself because my daughter's gone to her mum's. Yeah. I've got a coffee in my hand, a fat spliff next to me, and when I finish on this live stream, I'm going to pick my guitar up and I'm going to fucking jam all day fucking long. So I'm great, mate. How are you?
Yeah. No, that sounds like you got it worked out, mate. That's good.
Oh, I'm enjoying my life at the moment, Mark. I've got a bit of a good balance going on.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, life's difficult for quite a lot of people, and you were
No, I
right.
understand.
Like these live streams, they become. It depends how serious you take them, and it depends whose channels you're on and what channels are what they're about. I mean, if these channels can be depressing, but it's only if you make them depressing. That's what I'm saying. There's some channels you go on there for a laugh. There's other channels you go on there for political discussion and what's going on in the world. And that's what you just got to work out, is what channels or what mood you're in. I mean, listen, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. But I can't be just talking about that every day. That would fucking blow my fucking mind. I need a bit of a laugh, a bit of a fucking this and that. You need variation, and that's what it's about. And if there's channels what are, I know there's lots of people put rules on their channels. I don't put hardly any on mine for the fact that it depends who comes up. If I say, for instance, let's just say Welshie, you and Chrissy Morris come up, then we know that there's going to be a sort of a political debate thing. Whereas if someone like, say, let's just say Ultra, Spunkfish and Chubby Rain come up, I know that's going to be more of a fucking,
Degeneracy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want to call it degeneracy. It's up to you. But
hang on, you mentioned Chubby Rain, mate. I can't figure Chubby Rain with any other adjective than degeneracy, mate. Because that's what he, in my opinion, that's what he inspires and promotes.
Well, I see him a bit differently. I see him that he tries to wind people up. And that's how I see it. I know loads of people. Yeah, but what he does is he tries to shock, and he that's what he does, and people fall for it. In my opinion, a lot of people would disagree and call him all sorts of names. But
so you don't think that some of the things that he puts across, you don't think that he actually believes them, or
not
you think he says it for shock value?
It's shock and awe. Shock and awe.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, no, I'm not in awe of him, mate. A lot of the time, I am shocked by him, but it's not awe that I feel. It's more fucking pity and concern, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't believe anything he says, to be quite honest. When he's in that mood and playing games, he knows what he's doing, and that's what he does. And effectively, it seems to work quite well what he does, because it winds a lot of people up. It winds them up to they want to start. I mean, his channel got shut down, didn't it?
Twice, I think.
Chubby Rains, his channel was shut down. Yeah, and it's back.
Well, now. It doesn't surprise me, to be fair, because some of the stuff that he says is, well, like I said, controversial. Some of it's despicable, if I'm being honest.
It was nothing to do with him. His channel was shut down through people being offended of putting pictures up of some other people's live streams. So you're not only in danger of people porn bombing now, you're in danger of people could put an avatar up now of someone's what's the word I'm looking for? Someone's content, and that now gets you reported. That's how dangerous you're going on now. That's how dangerous these streams are, So it will turn out a lot of people will stop doing live streams for the fact that you can't please everyone on here, and you never will do. And if you start trying to, then that's the first bit where you're going to fail. Do what you do. Listen, I heard you a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was the greatest advice you'd given Jamie ever. Is you said, Jamie, just do you. Don't worry about the rest of them. Just do
Yeah. I mean
And
that.
I
That's
thought,
what
you know what?
you know.
I put you even spotted the comment I put on. I said I agree totally with you. You know, if someone comes in offending me on other channels, I'm not going to be worried about it. That's up to them, isn't it? You know, I can't stop them. I'm not going to go up and start complaining. What's the point? There's always going to be people what don't like you. There are probably people in the chat now who say, I'm not watching the chat. You know, it's called feeding the trolls.
Yeah.
Reese. That's what you
A lot of them do it for
people
attention, and the more attention you give them, the more they do it. It's
exactly.
it's like positive reinforcement. It's what they want, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You're giving him breakfast, lunch, and dinner when you keep going on about certain people. I'm not being funny. Let's talk. I'll mention this once because I'm being a hypocrite by just even bringing his name up. But Crinkle, he took my channel down, and I hardly ever mention the guy. Hardly ever, unless someone brings him up, and I'm like, well, I don't know. And he sits in the back room of the channel all for the whole evening when I do a live. And I won't even mention him. Yet there's other channels who hate him so much, yet all they do is talk about the guy. And I think, fucking hell, you're feeding him exactly, you're giving him breakfast, lunch, dinner, and afters with all the trimmings. Did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do agree with you, Mark. It is important, like I said, to have your own sort of boundaries and ideas of what you want to do, and just to express that on your own, in your own space, in your own time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you do encounter people that don't like that, the best thing that you can do is just to ignore them and not to acknowledge them.
Yeah. Well, look, last Saturday, I know a lot of people may not have liked it, but I had Spunkfish on, Joe on, who else? Shits and Giggles. John came up for a little while. Who else? There was a few others. Benson. All right, there was a lot of people taking the piss, and you know what? It was a good laugh. Everyone was taking the piss out of each other. Nothing was too overhand. It was people saying what they thought. Belfast Boy was on, and it was we had a few beers. A lot of us, I should imagine. I don't know if Belfast drinks, but yeah. We had a good laugh on there, you know. No one really. There was. I won't have people's families and kids brought up, but that just don't happen on mine. Or if it does, I quickly kick them off. But you know, there was no political discussion that evening. There was no discussion about what's really going on in the world. But we just took the piss and had a laugh. So that's the way that they go. Sometimes you can't control. That's controlling as well, don't you think? I mean, obviously, some nights you want to have, if you've got a topic, yeah, you want to stay on the topic, without it getting ruined and all that.
I guess what my issue is, Mark, is when you go on these live streams and it just becomes that venomous fucking tit for tat, talking over each other, descending into chaos, because I can't watch it. And I really, really hate being on a panel that descends into that, because it's like you can't get a word in edgeways, you can't say anything. So what's the point in being on there?
Yeah,
you know,
I know what you're saying, but when you've got 10 people on a panel and they've all quite passionate,
and that's another problem I have, is the big panels. I think it's far better served being look at the level of conversation that me, you, and Ministry have been able to have, a smaller scale conversation with better guests. Do you know what I mean? They you can actually communicate ideas, you can get things across, and you know, we're all in his base nature, Mark, all of us, all three of us, are capable of having the respect for the other person to allow them to finish what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? And have the conversation civilly. But when you get 7, 8, 9 people on a panel, people don't respect each other enough.
It's very hard to control. It really is. And it's a thing I don't like. I don't like that word control neither. I just, it's a word what I think, you know, what we're all being led into by governments, including YouTube, is controlling. You know, I tried my hardest to have the free speech, and free speech is it's very, very difficult to allow. I mean, there's obviously vile speech and nasty shit. You just don't want that on your channel anyway. But free speech, I mean, I don't know if you've watched any, Reese, but I've been up to Speaker's Corner 3 times this year now. And that place is just descending into a violent chaos, and it's going to get worse. And I fear it's going to be shut down because of it. And it's a certain demographic what are doing all the trouble. You know what I mean? I'm not a religious person, really, Reese, but I'm afraid I've got to tell the truth. It is the Muslim.
There are some ideas. There are some ideas that it is built into the idea to use violence to promote it, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's the bastion of free speech, Speaker's Corner. That's
I know, yeah.
And
we don't subtle distinction, Mark, but we don't have freedom of speech in this country. We have freedom of expression, don't we?
Yeah. Well, that actually, that's what that place is about. Is that? And I'm afraid unless the police make a bigger presence down there, then I don't think it's either gonna get shut down, or the police need to be there more when the violence starts, because you know it's pretty, you know. For instance, if you've got 5 or 6 men around you with face masks right up and their hoods up, it's hard to engage and have a chat with them, because straight away, if you saw that on the street somewhere, you would get out of that situation, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
probably,
as quickly
yeah.
as possible.
Yeah, you would. You would think, no, I'm not fucking getting in this situation. I want out of here now. You know, you either think these guys they're bandits, they're gonna rob me. Well, there's no reason to have your face like that. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, it's hard, like these panels. Like I said, Reese, it's all what panel you go on and what kind of mood people were in and all that. You know what I mean? You know, and then you hear things like, oh, which gang and which group and who's handling who. And you think, well, you're saying that, but you're sort of in that another little group yourself. So, you know, these I see it all the time, and it makes me smile. I don't get really annoyed no more on these, Reese. Well, I try not to. Sometimes you do get pissed off, but at the end of the day, I can't take them too seriously to no more. It depends who comes on the
really
panels
don't.
as well.
Yeah, I really don't take them too seriously. And like you said, free speech isn't a thing on YouTube. So, and the big panel thing, it's as a host, when there's lots of people on it shouting, you've got to sort of trying to step out of your own normal box and put your foot down. And sometimes people, guests get offended at that as well.
Yeah. Well, well, the thing I try to keep off is the one thing I can control is my most important rule is I won't let people speak about anyone's kids. If they do, I'm going to kick them off straight away.
Yeah.
That's the important rule I've got, and I'm not making more rules and more rules and more rules until it's just a controlled load of shit. So that's the way I've done it, and it was successful, and I'm sure it still gets a few people in, even though I've got 1/3 of the subs that I had before, so it still gets 50 to 80 people in. So I'm not really worried. It seems to be going all right. I might be going live tonight, depending if my oldest daughter's home. I might have something really good ministry in the next couple of months, but I've been given an opportunity, and it's whether I can get the fitness levels up. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about riding to Germany on a bicycle, and it's
that'd be a good vlog.
yeah. I've looked at. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you though. I haven't been to the gym a lot lately, and I went yesterday. And I got on one of these bicycles, which I don't normally use in the gym. And I rid for 15 minutes and I was fucked. So I'm going to really have to sort it out, the fitness levels, you know. But
I do a
yeah,
lot
I'm
of
thinking.
walking, but I couldn't
walking, I
even
walk
think about
everywhere.
cycling that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Well,
I'm
no, I'm on
thinking
it.
about doing it.
Yeah,
I've
I think you
worked it
said,
all out. Cool, mate.
yeah, I think you said on Smilers. Was it Smilers you said about it the other day? And yeah, really good idea. Yeah, you said you'd been looking at routes and.
Well, ministry, I've got to be honest with you. I've been looking at all the maps and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I looked at Google Maps and I thought, right, I'd have to do it I'd say, you know, without pushing yourself too far, it would take about 8 days, yeah. Without going like, you know, your Tour de France style. I worked out that'd be doing about 35 miles a day, which, you know, is a London marathon.
Would you be staying in? Would you be staying in accommodation then?
Well, I think after that ride, Reese, you'd have to, wouldn't you? You know, I thought about
you couldn't tent it, could you? And carrying your tent as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and then I thought, well, you'd have to get a really small tent and a really.
You know what you want to do, Mark? Is get like a little fucking trailer for your bike and put all your kit in there, because you're gonna have to carry water, you're gonna have to carry food, you're gonna have to carry your clothes.
Yeah. Well, I like. Listen, I've always travelled light, as least you need. Yeah. So what I would have is basically I wouldn't have no trailer. I would just go for it. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know if I can get this fitness level up, because I'm going to go today again. I mean, 15 minutes. But listen, I looked at the first leg of the journey and followed it through Google Maps yesterday. And I wouldn't ride from England. It would be from Calais to Cologne, yeah. And the first leg of the journey would be from Calais to where was the place? Fuck's sake, it's just escaped my head now. Dunkirk, and it works out. I think it's about 34 miles. And
Are you going to do it for charity or something?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'll be doing it through YouTube on charity, because I don't want to be called a beg and all that. I'll be doing it through friends and family.
No, but obviously you could put a link that people. It's not begging, because you're not receiving benefit for it, is it? It's going to a charity. Yeah. Everybody will acknowledge that. Just make sure you use a reputable charity.
Yeah, well, it's not really a reputable charity, because if I'm doing it it'd be for it'd be the Grenfell is a club what rose from that called the fuck's sake, what's that called now? I can't remember. My daughter used to go there, and they accept donations. They're funded by the council, but they accept donations. So it would be for that club. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, as long as it was something that was someone recognised, do you know what I mean? There's no problem with it.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not really. It would be like I said, it'd be the few WhatsApp groups I'm in. You know, nothing to do with YouTube. These are friends and family. You know what I mean? So,
well, I think you're missing. I think you're missing a beat, mate. I think it's something really positive. Reece, I don't think you should be ashamed of it, or you should view it as begging. You're raising money for something that you're concerned about.
Yeah, well, Reese, it's also a personal thing as well, Reese. So it's something I like doing, something like that. So I would enjoy doing it. But I've got to be honest with you. I looked at the map yesterday, going from thingy, and I followed it through. It took me about half an hour, just going through it. I thought, fuck it, now this is scaring me just looking at this map.
I think it's not necessarily the distance either, is it? What's the elevation change like?
No, it's quite flat, mate. Because I'll tell you what you do, Reese. You go through France up to Dunkirk, then you cross into Belgium, which is mainly flat. Then you go through the bottom part of Holland, and then you're in Germany. So you go through 4 countries, and you'd have to work out. You'd have to do about 40 mile a day. And the Reese, I was going to do. Listen, when I was in Germany, I was going to leave Germany. Unfortunately, I had to leave in a hurry because of some personal reasons. But what happened when I was in Germany, a friend of mine, when we went out to Germany, basically I had to find about $3,000 to, find accommodation, find, deposits for apartments, all that kind of stuff. And I was running out of money because it was basically a month in hand before you saw any money come in. So I was running out of money, and a woman I know, she lent me some money, and she had cancer, and stage 4 cancer. And while I was out there, she lent me this money, and she passed away while I was out there. So I was a bit devastated about that. She had 3 kids, and obviously that left her husband looking after the 3 kids, and they were short of money. So I was going to ride back from Germany on the support of this base for charity for his family, and everyone was supporting me. But unfortunately, that never happened. So it's something I wanted to do anyway. So I might do it. Like I said, it depends on fitness levels. And the only reason I can do it is because my oldest daughter has backed me and said, well, I will look after the youngest one while you're gone, which would be a total of 8 to 9 days. So I don't know if I'm going to do it. Like I said, it's in my head at the moment, and it'd be nice to do. But whether I get to do it, it's 6-7 weeks away. So I'd have to get myself. I've basically got about 7 weeks to get myself fit. Do you reckon you could do it, Reese?
Nah, absolutely fucking not.
No, not if you took 7 weeks in the gym.
Do you know, I could probably. I'm a smoker. I've been a smoker for years, so that's not a great thing for being able to do endurance sort of shit. I think if I went on an electric bike, I could.
Oh yeah, easy, mate. You may as well get a cab, Reese, for fuck's sake.
I think on an electric bike it'd actually be quite pleasant.
Yeah.
As long as the weather were nice. Yeah.
But I'd
just cruising around north of France and Low Countries. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I'd want to stealth camp at World War II sites because I'm a bit nerdy like that. So it'd probably take me longer.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, well, I'm going past Dunkirk if I do it.
I'd want to put drone up as well at some of them spots, but then I suppose it might be considered to be a bit disrespectful.
Nah, I don't think it would be, would it?
No.
Because some battlefields you can go to, literally, it's difficult to get the context of how big they are from the ground. Because you go, I went on French exchange trips when I was a kid, and they take you to these, these war memorial places. And you see a little bit of it, but what you don't realise is it goes on and on and on. There's fucking miles of fields with just massive craters in from, artillery shells.
Yeah.
It's and like I say, you'd only really appreciate it looking at it from the air.
Yeah. You see how big the fucking thing, the whole thing is. Yeah. Well, it was the whole of Europe, the battlefield in the end.
Well, World War I was you know, the scars of World War One are still on the land. Even World War Two didn't wipe them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well, the
just
scars are in London. When you walk around London, Reese, yeah, you'll see all these terraced houses, and nearly every street around West London has got them. Is in between these terrace houses, there's a gap, and then there's a small block of flats, and that was what was hit by the bombs in the Second World War. So that gap is a representation of a bomb hitting a street in London.
That's crazy. And you'll also have damage to the buildings around them, won't you? It'll be apparent in the brickwork if you look close enough.
Yeah. Well, I remember doing up a chemist once, and the cracks in the building were fucking unbelievable. But the guy said, they've been like that since the war. And that was years ago. I done this chemist place up.
Yeah.
You could put your hand through a few of these cracks.
Yeah,
and
but
all he kept doing was putting filler in it. And
I'd have thought there'd be like shrapnel as well, because when a bomb comes down, obviously when it explodes, there's bits of fucking all sorts rush outwards, don't they? So
yeah. I wanted to.
My older brother.
Sorry, go on, Ministry.
My older brother. I was just going to say, my older brother has done sort of all the World War II stuff in France and Belgium, and he's got a little piece of shrapnel out of a gun emplacement in Dunkirk, and he said he was like really dubious about taking it, but he said it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's obviously shell casings from the Americans and the British when they landed.
Well, yeah, crazy.
I'm not sure I'd want to take anything, but people do, bullets and.
Well, I wanted to talk about if I go live tonight, the subject I wanted to talk about is have they really got the stomach to go to war like they did in World War II and World War One? I don't think they have.
No, I absolutely agree with you. They don't. We've just announced defence funding increase, haven't we?
Yeah,
75 billion between now and 2030.
Yeah. Well, I put up a thing on the community page, Reese, about how many Ukrainians are fleeing the border because they've just dropped the age of the conscripts now. Not the conscripts, but the ages.
Yeah, you've got to enlist.
Yeah. So they've dropped that down, and there's thousands what are leaving through the Polish border and the mountain regions to get away, and they're being rounded up by, I suppose, press gangs really to go and fight. Now, if someone doesn't want to fight, that's a hard thing. So you're rounding up men what don't want to fight in the first place. So what does that tell
morale
you?
in your yeah. I mean, the Russians in World War II had officers just behind the front lines with platoons of men pointing guns towards their own lines. Anybody that retreated were shot.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, Reese, is what people know now to what they knew then is the reason why people don't want to fight.
There are some people who are psychologically not suited for war.
Well, did you know in the First World War that I think it was only a third of them, less than a third, that actually fired their gun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they actually found that when they fired the gun, they often intentionally missed the shot.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying.
It's difficult to kill
what are the
Ukrainians?
What are the Ukrainians going to do with these youngsters if they desert? Because everything is so I know mainstream media is so controlled and contrived, but you know, how are they going to discipline people that don't want to fight? Are they going to take them behind a tower block and have an old-fashioned firing squad, or are they going to
No, I
imprison
don't
them?
think that.
It's
I don't
a
think. I
weird
don't
one.
think that they're going to do. I don't think that they're going to do either of those things. I think that. Well, they've just got a load of money for a start, haven't they? Up the Americans. The Americans have
Yeah.
just given them something like 54 billion dollars, and they've also given them the ATA-CM. I can't even pronounce it. Attack missiles.
Yeah, the
that can
ballistic
reach,
missiles. Yeah,
3,300 kilometers. You know, so they could be launched from well behind the front lines at targets in Russia. So obviously Putin will be aware of that. Shit is just escalating. I find myself really, really thankful that the Israel-Iran thing hasn't simmered over into, because there was a potential there for a while for that to be a real sort of flashpoint incident, wasn't there?
yeah.
I'm glad that didn't come into fruition, but it's just so unstable globally now.
Yeah.
It's like a mouse's fart could set everything off.
Testing each other. Yeah, everyone's just poking each other at the moment, and like, you know, I know Russia, Ukraine's
Kim Jong-il is fucking, or no, whatever his name is launching missiles from North Korea into ocean just to intimidate the South Koreans. Do you know what I mean?
He has been doing that for the last 20 odd years, though. Recently, let's face it, they've been complaining about that for years.
Yeah, they've been trying to. Trump tried to sort of quieten him down with money or aid, should we call it? But yeah, it didn't stop him. It just encouraged him.
Yeah.
And even his sister's been spouting her mouth, hasn't she? I've seen it.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to have a look, because she's supposed to be more
just as nuts as him. Yeah.
Well, the problem we got with this globalist stuff, what's going on, is it doesn't give the actual people any choices. Yeah. Because globalism means that they own the governments, all these, these elites, they own the governments now. So you're not being given any choices. That's why I know you're a great hater of Trump, Reese, but I liked Trump for the fact that the whole of the world's media did not want him to get in. And he got in once, and he nearly got in a second time, and he only had one news channel that supported him, and that was Fox News. And basically, and I just thought, you know what, I'm glad, just because it upset the globalists. And it was the same with Brexit. They didn't want Brexit. Brexit's not materialised what people thought it would be, but at least it was the people standing up and saying, well, hang on, we've had enough of this. We've had enough of people.
What had you had enough of?
Well, they've had enough of just being pushed on narratives of, let's face it, I know a lot of you guys say it isn't a problem, but I mean, the immigration to this country, I'm sorry, it cannot just continue.
Has that got any better?
No,
but instead of having like Polish people and Romanian people coming to this country and working, fulfilling economic roles that we needed them to fulfill, instead of that, we've got people coming over in small boats, and they can't work. They have to be housed in hotels. We have to feed them. It costs the taxpayer money. Right, and they're not exactly the most desirable people to have in the country. They're not economic contributors. And they're not of a culture that is able to assimilate into our society, because the values are very, very different.
Yeah, we're going a little bit off what I actually said, though, Reece, aren't we? You
said that. What you said was.
I tell you what I said. I tell you what. Listen to the words carefully. I said it was the people standing up against the globalist when they voted for Trump and they voted for Brexit because it went against the mainstream media narrative. It's the first time in my lifetime that that's happened. I said people voted for Brexit and they didn't really get what they wanted. That was the words I said.
Which mainstream media narrative are you talking about?
Well, every mainstream media narrative, every single one of them didn't want. Listen, Reese, before you continue, I don't know if you remember the Brexit vote. If you remember it, nearly everything was telling you not to vote for Brexit. Yeah, every campaign was telling you how terrible Brexit was going to be. Okay, apart from YouTube channels and small channels, your BBC, all of them was telling you how awful.
So the newspapers. What about the newspapers? So the Daily Mail, the Daily the Mirror, yeah, and the Sun. They drove the idea of Brexit and how it was going to make the country better.
I can't see how the Mirror would have been one of them papers.
Mate, the Mirror has been bought. It's not owned by Murdoch anymore. It's owned by a company called Reach PLC. Yeah, and they are they're just as guilty of client journalism as all the others.
Yeah.
Basically, for years, the Conservatives, obviously, you've got to understand, yeah, he who has the money writes a narrative.
Well,
right?
That's what. So, is that what not I've just been saying, Reese? The globalist. They're the ones with the money.
Look at it this way, right? There are some things that are beyond the control of certain elements within society, right? So things like the BBC has a mandate that predates any government that's in power at that point in time, yeah? So the BBC's been running for years and years and years. It's a historical institution, and it has, you know, parameters by which it must maintain impartiality. Do you know what I mean? It has governing principles that it's got to abide by. And the government, yes, the government can enact legislation that changes those principles, but it's a long process. And when you start trying to change the state-run press, people will start asking questions about why you are doing that. Yeah. So governments don't interfere with the founding principles of the BBC.
I don't think the Beaver are impartial, though, to be honest. I don't think the Beaver are impartial in their media.
I mean, they're lying all the time.
Well, I have watched it for that long.
They chastise.
I couldn't tell you.
No, I haven't. But they chastise, you know, anchors that may not support their way of thinking. You know, they end up on internet news or Channel 5 or something. Get pushed right down the ladder, you know, if they don't, if they ever speak out.
Gary Lineker, though, did they?
Obey our orders,
because there's too much money involved. Yeah. Lineker's worth too. It's too much money. There's too much money involved there.
Well, could you imagine how much Sky News would snap him up? Sky Sports would snap him up. That'd be a right sort of fucking coup for Sky Sports, wouldn't it? To have Gary. Nobody'd watch BBC Sport.
It would, but you know, would they be able to offer him probably a lifetime contract that he's on with the Beeb for multi-million pounds a year, just for presenting a football highlight show? You know.
Well, probably. Do you have any idea how much they charge to fucking for the rights for the Premier League games? Do you know what I mean? There's a hell of a lot of money in that. There's a lot of money in the advertising that they sell at during the show. They make don't think that Sky ain't making money off of the Premier League. Of course it is.
Yeah. See, the problem is, Reese, is people like Gary Lineker don't live in a world that we live in. Yeah. He lives in a world where the liberals who just bend over, yeah, just like they did in the COVID era. Yeah, we'll be locked down. Just we'll take every jab going. That's what they were doing, and they're too happy to go along with anything what was said, and that's the problem we got. It's the same like that. It's the same with when you get these criminals what are coming into these countries, and we can't even deport them. We can't even deport them because of these liberals who say, oh, no, we should just live with them and accept it all. No, that's not the way. These criminals should be taken out and sent straight back home. And the people who hate on this country, what are you doing here? Really, what are you doing here if you hate this country so much? And let's just take, for instance, that Speaker's Corner, which I went for a few weeks, and I'm not going to go there, don't know much no more, because I can see what's going to happen down there. There's going to be some extreme violence happen sooner or later. And you know what the most scary bit is most of these people what are promoting basically jihad, in my opinion, they've got Brummie accents, they got Bradford accents. And I'm thinking, for fuck's sake, man. So you really want your own fucking country to be ruined? Is that what?
Well, it's not their country, is it? It's not their country. That's why.
Well, they've got Birmingham accents and Bradford accents.
Yeah, but at the moment, they feel because of the nature of how the immigration patterns work. Yeah. You get centralized communities around traditionally industrial towns because the first people that migrated from Asia over to England did so to help fulfill the manpower shortage we had after World War II in the mills and factories. Yeah. So that's where they settled, in the areas where we had those mills and factories. Bradford, all round Yorkshire, Manchester, Birmingham, the West Midlands. And they settled, but they formed their own communities.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the issue, is that they think that their community, they see that their communities are separate from everywhere else, from everyone else. And I think they sort of resent the fact that it's not their cultural perspective that is controlling the day-to-day social construct of our society.
Well, why don't they go back to a country what they do who accept things like Sharia law and all that? Why don't they go back there and then they'd be happy, wouldn't they? So they're coming here complaining.
Well, the whole ideology of Islam is expansionism. The whole goal of it is to spread it around the world.
Yeah.
Just as the same as the goal of Christianity was to spread it around the world, and we did so with missionaries and with mercenaries.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've got to jump off anyway. But listen, Ministry, I've come on a new device, and it's a completely different layout. Everything's different. It's got things like recording, stage.
Yeah, they've upgraded StreamYard. Yeah.
So I'm on the same device, and it looks different.
Hang on, before we carry on, where the fuck is the X button? Because I want to leave.
Well, I'll kick you off if you want to go. I'm going to shut down in a minute. And,
all right,
get ready to go out for the day. So.
Reece, nice one, mate.
All right, cheers for coming on.
Take it easy, pal. Thanks for having me on, Ministry.
See you around if you're live this evening. So.
Yeah, I might have a look out for you.
All right, Reece.
All right, Minnie. Well, thanks for having me on, pal.
Nice chat.
Yeah, man. I'm going to crack on with my guitar now.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
All right, catch you in a bit, mate.
All right, in a bit, Reece. Cheers, fella.
See ya.
Cheers for coming on. Morning, Cheeky. Just about to shut down. Out for the day, so out for dinner and all that sort of malarkey. I got a little while before we got to go out and pick everyone up, but got to get myself a little cup of tea before I go. Yeah, it's been nice live. Cheers everybody for coming in. If Mark's live this evening, everyone get over and give it a big fat like, get in the chat, have a giggle. Nice one, Ash. Nice one, AMG. Nice one, Matt. Nice one in the chat bot. Nice one, Kirsty. Nice one, Ice. Nice one, Boggy. Big up, SR. Didn't say good morning, SR. I was didn't want to interrupt when people were chatting away there. Yeah, cheers all. I'll catch you in a bit. Ciao for now.